Hi everybody and welcome to Beyond Politics. Today we'll be discussing the concept of human rights. Is it just an illusion or are you actually benefiting from human rights in this world?
In South Africa, we have a constitution that claims to be the most wonderful constitution when it comes to the rights of humans. We have all sorts of rights under the South African constitution, but can our government, can the laws of the country, can the justice system give effects to these human rights? Or is everything just being conquered? I know you've spoken often about the fact that conquering is actually what is happening around the world. Conquering is still going on.
Human rights prevents the conquering spirit in the individual, I believe. Because you feel like, oh, government's going to take care of everything. I have the right to water, government's going to provide me with clean running water. I have the right to a home, so the government's going to make sure that I have some kind of shelter and a road leading to my house and a job and all the rest. So the concept of human rights, I feel, subverts the good side of human nature to conquer our destinies.
And the one thing that happens when things become politically correct, in whatever way that humans have rights, etc., when it comes back to the chase, who has the most rights? The gangs with the guns? The police? You in your home? If you're not self-reliant, you can't protect yourself, you can't supply yourself with the 5 needs of survival, you have no rights. You are being conquered. And one of the things that's conquering you in your life is our state, the actual government, SARS, and many other things.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say with everything going on in the economy here in South Africa that we work for the government.
Yeah.
All of us are government employees right now.
Absolutely.
In some way or the other.
Yeah, we're funding government debt, we are funding their salaries, we're funding many other things. And this is your only right at this stage, is to be a citizen of this country, where you must have an ID number. And because of that, you are literally collateral for money being printed in lieu of the work you're going to do in your lifetime and the money you're going to generate because of that.
I think human rights should be replaced with human freedoms.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom from government control, freedom from corporate control.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a much better conversation to have. I've read the Constitution in numerous times. There's many things in there, like everyone has the right to clean air. Welcome to Cape Town and Joburg, where there is absolutely no clean air unless it's a particularly windy day. And then everyone has a right to adequate shelter. But what is an adequate shelter? And a large portion of the population is definitely not living in adequate, what I consider adequate shelter. And then everyone has the right to dignity and running water, but that doesn't really translate into tangible reality at all. It's spoken of in political speeches, but the results aren't shown on the ground. Therefore, I think we should as a country, move in the direction of declaring human freedoms instead of human rights, because human rights do nothing but empower institutions to control people.
And it's about fooling people into thinking that they have something they do not. If you cannot conquer things, whatever it might be, might it be the fact that you become self-reliant? That is conquering. Actually having access to water, food, shelter, energy, and something to keep you sane, clean air, that is conquering. And with that comes freedom.
So I've always brought human life down to the most basics. It's about conquering land and populating land. That's the basic human existence. We've created wild, complex economies that revolve around those two concepts. However, fake democratic governments take that spirit of conquering our own lives away through human rights, and I think it's time that we change some things around in the country. The Constitution is declared to be the most free in the world, and it's actually almost, I wouldn't say politically incorrect, I wouldn't say illegal, but it's frowned upon by those in government to speak out against the Constitution. Meanwhile, it's one of the biggest obstacles standing in the way of South Africa's progress.
Not the Constitution, but what's written in it. So having that Constitution upgraded is absolutely necessary. It needs a massive upgrade.
Improved, upgraded, add a couple of amendments, and then it's good to go.
And it should include freedom, because at the moment government is given all the freedom to decide what your human rights are and how they will give you those rights. So think about that for a moment. Tell us in the comment how you feel about your human rights on this Human Rights Day. And what have you conquered in your life? Or are you being conquered and brought to your knees by a state that is only looking at feeding itself until it bursts?